What is up, everybody? Is a conservative Chicano.
Can you hear me? What the fuck? I can't hear you on my computer, man. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Oh, man. Okay. Why am I having this issue? The volume on my computer seems to be turned up. I don't know why I can't hear you. Hold on, bro. Oh, Lordy. Hey, Nick, let me call you on the phone. Can I do that?
Yeah, I can't hear Bear either. Can you hear me, Chicos?
Okay, I can hear you, John Smith. I can hear you like loud and clear.
Yeah, Bear is muted, or Bear's mic or something is not going on right.
Cool. See, I thought it was just me. I'm like, damn, what happened to my computer, bro? I can't. Nick, you're quiet. You quiet as a mouse.
You hear me now?
Oh,
Now
I
we
hear you.
All right, guys. It's been a long time coming since we were able to do something on the conservative Chicanos, and we're here. Technical difficulties and all.
Hey, I just want to make sure that my mic volume's okay. It's not too loud, not too quiet.
Oh, you're good. Can you hear? Am I too loud or too quiet?
John Smith, you loud as fuck.
Oh, am I too loud?
He's lying.
Of course. I should have known.
So the reason why we're coming on tonight, man, there's a couple of good stories that I wanted to talk about and Chico's wanted to talk about. And I think that a lot of us would, I think the subscribers and anybody out there that would want to probably talk about this too. And the story that we wanted to talk about, I said story like 8 million times, is this. California trans child molester, 26, gets 2 years in juvenile facility thanks to progressive DA Gascon. Tubbs, 26, pleaded guilty earlier this month to molesting the girl in a woman's bathroom on December 31st, 2014, when Tubbs was 17. So because he was charged at 17, he's now going to go to a juvenile detention center. Welcome to California, y'all.
Why is there no mention of him being castrated?
Ouch.
So, the Los Angeles County judge on Thursday ordered Hannah Tubbs, because now because he's looking at going to federal prison jail, now he wants to be a girl, of California, to serve 2 years in a juvenile facility after he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a 10-year-old in 2014. Before doing so, the judge criticized the far-left district attorney George Gascon, whose office declined to prosecute the repeat offender as an adult.
Oh my God.
So, John, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I mean, everything that I've ever learned or knew about like these sex offenders is they are the highest recidivism rate, as far as any type of crime or criminal. And once they do it, they're going to continue to do it. I don't understand California. I don't understand what it is about this nation, about these blue states and blue cities that are just they're no longer locking people up. They're letting these freaks go. I don't understand it, and it's just demoralizing this country. And I went out to protest a groomer that burned and ultimately killed my cat. I was on private property. I wasn't on the groomer's property, but you better bet your ass that the Mesa PD showed up and ushered me out of there, and they harassed me until I left. And I was literally protesting a groomer that killed my cat. I wasn't out committing any crimes, but the police were there in 5 minutes and they ushered me out. This sick son of a bitch is still, he's not being prosecuted. Why?
Let me tell you something that I learned working in my previous profession, John and Chico's. And let me tell you this, guys. If you're tried as an adult, as a juvenile, like this idiot was, and there he is, you could tell he's a grown ass man. There's a picture of him right there. Because he was tried as a juvenile, they don't get found guilty. They get adjudicated. So that means this charge will not show up on his record after he gets out because it gets adjudicated since he's after 18. So it means he's going to get adjudicated as soon as he walks out of there. It's no longer going to show up on his record. That is something that is disgusting and sick, and that I don't understand how these judicial systems allow this to happen. What about you, Chicos? What do you think?
I do think it's disgusting. And John, about your cat, I mean, these are how these fucking serial killers start out, man. Like, look at
freaking
what's
Dahmer.
that one dude's name? Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer, man. Didn't he have a problem killing animals?
Yes, he did.
Before he moved on to murdering actual people. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, if I had my way, this guy's nuts would be cut off and he would be castrated. I really honestly think all molesters, rapists, if they're not going to be hung by the rope, they should be castrated if they want to be released into society after many, many, many years in prison, of course.
Dude,
it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's why I named this show A Wolf into a Hen's House, because that's literally what they're doing, dude. They're giving this man an opportunity to feast on more girls, because what's going to happen is now, because he identifies as a woman or a girl in this case, he's going to be locked up with a bunch of females. Can you imagine what's going to happen to these females locked up like that with this animal in the hen house?
California's been doing that. They've been taking transgendered females and moving them into the female prison, and now they've got pregnancy issues. There's women that are being raped inside women's prisons by transgendered women, and they're knocking these women up. And so now the state, rather than reversing course and taking these transgender, which it's just a dude, right, that thinks he's a woman, instead of getting them out of prison and back in with the men, now they're giving out condoms. They're dishing out condoms to try to prevent these pregnancies from happening. California is a lost cause.
You know what's insane, dude? And I don't know if Chicos or you know this. Did you know that there's a thing called PREA, which is the Prison Rape Elimination Act? In prison, there is no such thing as consensual sex. In prison, all sex is non-consensual, whether you're doing it as an adult or whatever. So, dude, these people, these transgenders that are knocking up these women, what they should do is get the baby, get a DNA test, do a DNA, and then arrest, and then charge the father with rape, because there's no such thing as consensual sex in prison, period. It's a federal law signed by Bill Clinton.
I agree with that. Because they shouldn't be doing it. And to put these women in harm's way is just despicable. It's like everybody is so concerned about trans rights. The public schools in Arizona, the left is pushing trans rights, and everybody has the right. Everybody has the right to play sports. Everybody has the right to do this, the right to do that. But what they leave out is the actual biological women who are the victims. Don't they have rights too?
That's what Title IX is about.
Bear and I were actually having a little bit of a discussion prior to this live about the decline of masculinity in the country and how it plays a big role into a lot of this sick shit that's going on nowadays. And, I had asked Bear, I said, hey, do you think this guy would have been doing this sick shit if he would have gotten a belt to his backside as a kid and got taught discipline, right from wrong? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of sick people out there, and there always have been. Uh, but it seems like nowadays it's more often than not. Usually back then it was a shocking story of the decade. Now it's a shocking story of the week, and
If
you
even
hear
that.
about fucking garbage like this happening all the time. And I think that there's a lot of positive male role models that are just missing out of the American family nowadays, and that's one of the big problems of this country is they're just missing um, the the male, plain and simple, the alpha male in the family, and that's a big problem and a big issue going on, and that's why you got all this crazy cuckoo-ness going on in the world that's going on today.
Let me
Yeah, I agree.
let me ask you. Let me point something out because I know a lot of the people that are going to watch this later on are gonna freak out on this. But doesn't Chico's look like a great Marlboro man?
Man, I'll tell you, smoke them if you got them, Chicos.
I will be. um Dude, but yeah, I got this resistol hat, man. Fucking straw hat, made in America, made in Texas, leather strap. I love this hat. I love it. Ever since I've been wearing it. This is my mask.
Mm,
I just
I
wanted to
like it.
point that out because I watched Chico's did a video on his channel, where he's doing a lot of gun, what do you call that, weapons,
Oh,
um
just yeah, reviews on guns. And I did. I recently got a side-by-side shotgun, man. Those Coach guns. Golly, I've always wanted one since I was a little kid, dude. People don't have those normally, so I love it, dude. What can I say? I love it a lot. It's really cool. I could go on forever about it.
so I'm gonna switch gears but it's gonna stay within the same realm. Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard of this story. Okay, so we got a 26-year-old man going to get locked up for molesting a 14-year-old girl in a woman's bathroom.
Oh my.
Now we got a Texas brothers beat up stepfather to death who was accused of sexually assaulting sister. So you got one man. So you're gonna get a bunch of So you're getting these guys. This guy who rapes a girl in the bathroom gets 2 years, but these brothers are sitting there going to go to prison probably for the rest of their lives for doing what I think is hero shit.
Well, I think so. I mean, I think what they did was right, but the problem is you can't take the law into your own hands. Now, we don't know if these kids have been reporting this stuff to law enforcement in their area. We don't know. We don't know if the law enforcement has been ignoring them. I'm sure there'll be investigations into that. But did they give a reason why they did it rather than getting the authorities involved?
Well, according to Harvey, Quintanilla has been on the national database since 2019 after another minor claimed he had sexually abused her between 2014 and 2016. Quintanilla has been on the run from authorities ever since until his body was found. So this guy was a serial
Oh,
child abuser, and I'm sure that they haven't said that I haven't seen anything where it says that they were notifying the police officers. Bro, but I mean, seriously, when it comes, I understand not having to take the law into your own hands, man. But there has to be a certain time where you have you have to understand the party that these boys, man. I'm telling you, if my sister came up to me and said our stepdad was molesting her and he was already on the national database, how many times have you even think about your kid getting hurt where you just want to snap and break somebody's neck? You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
no, I
understand
get
why
it.
they did it.
Yeah, and
Hey,
unfortunately, there's like a fine line. It's crazy. You can have somebody break into your house, and you're there when it happens. You pull out your pistol or whatever you got in your closet, and boom, you're free to shoot them. They're on your property. But at the same time, you hear about somebody robbing your local gas station, and you have someone point them out, that's the person that did it. That's the person that did it. But if they're not actively robbing somebody and you go and you shoot them, you're gonna do some hard time, if you
Yeah.
take them out. It's just one of those things. It's unfortunate because I understand like the crime of passion, um, and unfortunately Texas they got right minds when it comes to punishment for crimes out there, but at the same time, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do to somebody that murders somebody, for whatever reason that may be. And unfortunately, to me it seemed like a crime of passion. I couldn't say I wouldn't do anything different if I was in those folks' shoes, but
Yeah, that's a tough one.
yeah, it's a bad situation, definitely.
So it says here that Christian and Juan are being charged with capital murder, while all three teens are being charged with aggravated assault, family assault, and violence, and engaging in organized criminal activity. Capital murder because Quintanilla was kidnapped when he was taken in the back of the F-150 and dropped off somewhere else. So he was kidnapped, and then at the scene where they dropped him off, the Trevinos, they got some property, stole some property from Quintanilla. When asked about the possible involvement of the boys, his mother Harvey said, "That's still part of the open investigation, and that's certainly a question we had. We weren't notified, and that kind of thing. So there's more questions out there. That's something that we're going to look into." I'm sorry, bro, but they don't want me on this. I know this ain't Colorado, but they wouldn't want somebody like me on this jury, dude, because I would be sitting there saying,
Not guilty.
you'd have to convince me beyond a reasonable doubt.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be like on the Chappelle show, I still got doubts, damn it.
Well, the thing about it is, if they kidnapped him and they had him, sounds like they had him tied up or something, or somehow he was, he wasn't able to get away, right? He was accosted some way. They could have drug his ass right to the police station and said, "Hey, this is what's going on." Now, maybe they would have got caught, or maybe they would have got arrested for kidnapping or something. But if they would have went to the police station, or they went and said, call the FBI or whatever, this guy's wanted. He's a serial rapist, sexual molester. He's been molesting my sister, blah, blah, blah. That might have been the better way to handle it. I don't know. I mean, vigilantism has, it's a slippery slope. You got to be careful with it. But at the same time, if law and order is not going to handle the situation and your loved one's being raped or molested, then I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I was going to say vigilante. Sometimes this country loves the vigilante. I mean, look at fucking Batman. Look at Billy the Kid.
Kyle
Sometimes
Rittenhouse.
you just got to do what you got to do. Hell yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse. And thank God he didn't get convicted. I mean, you can see in the videotape, he was just protecting himself. That kid, I felt bad for that kid. He was crying, and you could see it's like, God, Lee, he's just a kid, man. Crying in the courtroom the way he did. I couldn't imagine going through the shit he went through. But thank God that justice was on his side, because so little do you see actual justice being done in our judicial system, like you were saying with California and their revolving door out there. I mean, that's not just California, but there's a lot of states with that same problem. I know we're going through it here where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm gonna put. Bree says that she's gonna put money on their books. So it says here that the brothers fought with Quintanilla at the trailer park, and all three left before another physical dispute broke out in a nearby apartment complex. Juan Eduardo Melendez and 18-year-old Paolo the Trevinos joined in on the second fight, authorities said. The three teens then left the apartment complex only a short time later, ahead of a third beating. The trio found Quintanilla injured and walking alone on the road. The man was then beaten to a pulp with brass knuckles. The suspects allegedly placed Quintanilla in the bed of their pickup truck and dumped his body in a field in McAllen. So it looks like they've confronted this man multiple times and beat the brakes off of him. And the thing is, man, here's my problem with these kind of stories is I cannot say what I would do in this situation. Like I can't. I don't think any of us could sit there and say, "Oh, well, we take him to jail," because we really don't know. Because none of us has ever been in this situation. Well, I haven't.
Oh no. But this is the way the lawyers are going to look at it. This is the way the DA is going to look at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it from a legal perspective, not from a hypothetical. If I was in that situation, because listen, if somebody was raping my daughter, okay, there would be no police. I'd be the first responder.
At least you're honest about it. What about you, Chicos?
I'd have blood all over myself. Not mine.
Not your own.
I would. I'd go full fucking retard. I ain't gonna lie.
Because you obviously these brothers loved their sister enough to do this, and I get it, man. Like I seriously get it, because I know a lot of people are going to look back at this story later on and be able and have Kyle Rittenhouse envy. But dude, you got to look at the entire aspect of it. I mean, yeah, could they have called the police? I'm sure they did. Actually, you know what? I don't think they did. I think they turned red. I think they saw red and they just beat the shit out of him, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, think about this too. I'm not sure how it is in Texas, but you could call the cops out like where I'm at, and they won't show up unless there's an active violent crime happening. They will not show up. There's been a shortage of police officers for whatever reason, and they are not showing up. You know, it has to be a life or death situation where they'll actually show up. I wrecked my truck a couple months back, and I called the police, and they asked me, "Is anybody hurt?" You know, and that was the first thing I did when I got out of my truck. I asked the young lady in her car, "Oh, are you okay? Is everything all right?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm fine. And you know, when I called the police, they said, "Well, you're just going to have to get the insurance information on your own. We can't send anybody out." You know.
So let me ask you guys a question. These guys are going to obviously get in trouble. They're obviously going to do time. Mm-hmm. Would you say this is capital murder, or could this go by heat of passion and get manslaughter?
I would say less than that. I just say it was just a crime of passion. I would, if you want to call it a crime to begin with. I think the motherfucker got what he deserved.
Legally speaking, I don't know. Maybe these guys, maybe they claim insanity. I don't know. Maybe the insanity defense. Maybe they go in the psych ward. I think they're going to do time. I think the capital crime or the capital murder is because they kidnapped him first and then they killed him, right? So it's like a
it's a kicker.
Yeah, it's a kicker. So it's going to be a tough one for them to get out of this as far as murder. I don't think they'll get down to any type of
See, when you move
anything
somebody,
below that.
When you move somebody beyond their consent, like more than 15 feet, it's considered kidnapping. They fucked up. They should have just killed him where he stood.
Nana says it depends on how they planned it, legally speaking.
Yeah, and by kidnapping him and taking him out somewhere and then beating him into a pulp and then dropping him off in a field somewhere, it's pretty clear that it was
premeditated.
It was premeditated. I don't think they're going to get manslaughter. I don't think they'd be that lucky. I think they're going to get the book thrown at them. Now, whether or not they get convicted of it's a different story. But I think the state will go after as much as they can for these guys.
And here's the messed up thing about this, guys. And I'm sure you guys are going to agree with me on this. Maybe not. So we had that gentleman in Texas as well, right? In Texas, that went and shot up the school. They let him out of jail. They let him out on jail. I think it was on PR bond. These guys have $1 million bond, $1 million for doing something that everybody wishes they could do to a child molester. These guys got $1 million bond, dude. How? So that to me it doesn't make sense. How does one shoot up attempt to shoot up a school, and then all of a sudden you get 2-3 Latinos who go and kill a pedophile, and now they're being charged with being held on $1 million. I don't think these guys are a threat to society. I don't think these guys would even go and kill another person.
No, obviously not. The person they killed was the person that was raping their daughter,
Their sister.
or I'm sorry, their sister. Yeah. And so, yeah, they're not, these aren't people that are going and robbing liquor stores. These aren't people that are jacking cars. These aren't home invasion dudes. These are people that went after someone in a, and they probably saw it in some sort of self-defense mode. And they came up with the plan to kidnap the guy, take him out in the woods somewhere and beat the crap out of him. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they didn't even intend to kill him. Maybe it was to give the guy a warning, right? Maybe it was to, yeah, you hurt my daughter, we're going to hurt you. Or my sister, I keep saying daughter, but my sister, you hurt her, I'm going to hurt you. And maybe he died from it, and that wasn't their intention, and then after they killed the guy, they were like, damn it, now we got to take him out into the woods somewhere and drop him off, I don't know what went through their mind.
That motherfucker was a bitch. He fucking died, man. We just meant to beat the motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, right? Maybe they're trying to send a message.
I've actually seen that happen a lot, where you go to beat the shit out of somebody and they die, and you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
What?
I've seen it, dude.
You're a sick motherfucker, bro.
I didn't say I did it. I've seen it happen.
No, you remember there was a story, Bear, and I think we talked about it like 6 months, maybe a year ago, where the kid was being bullied, and I think he clocked the bully, and the bully fell backward and hit his head and killed him.
Yes, at the school.
At the school, you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
So the intention wasn't to kill that guy. The intention was to just clock him. His old man probably said, "Just go punch him in the nose, man."
Right?
And he knocked him out and killed him, and that wasn't intentional.
Bree says, "I need to find better friends," because I said I've seen it happen.
Wasn't me.
But yeah, man, like it's where we're at in the social aspect of this all, man. It shows that, Nana says it, maybe they're not the correct social color. That's why they're getting $1 million bonds. And I'm not trying to bring race into this, but it's sad that you see that justice is it's clearly not blind, because this is something, I thought the bonds were supposed to be depending on, and maybe Chico's could speak on this, bonds are supposed to be on the threat level. So if you're not that big of a threat to society, you get a lower bond, or to repeat again.
It doesn't say anything about these folks, if they got a criminal background or anything like that either. So
even if they did, they're juveniles, so they would be adjudicated and they would have been dropped.
Well, what about those two juveniles out in Washington, D.C. who carjacked that Uber driver and freaking killed him? Right? They went into the Uber driver's car with a freaking taser gun, tasered the guy, tried to steal his car. He tried to fight back, and they ran him over and left him to die in the street. And then the only thing they were concerned about was they forgot their cell phone in the car. Remember that? The iPhone? Can you help?
Yeah. I do remember that.
Both juveniles, both got tried as juveniles, and both will be out in 4 to 5 years. And like you said, they'll be freed, and their records will be clean.
And then Latin Patriot says, what about the guy who shot his girlfriend 22 times scot-free?
I'm not sure about that one.
I don't know about that one either, but
I'm just Andy Dufresne.
I love Andy Dufresne. If you give me the name, I'll look it up. But yeah, dude, but those are the things that you're seeing, man. Justice is not being swung fairly across the board. No. And these young kids in Texas, dude, they're being screwed over.
That's right.
And I'm not saying they shouldn't do no prison time. Maybe the 4 to 5 years that you were mentioning in Washington, D.C. would be adequate for these guys. Dude, they were defending their freaking sister.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost an act of self-defense because that girl was defenseless, so they defended her. But again, if they kidnapped him and duct taped him or whatever, however, whatever they did, I don't know what they did, to incapacitate the guy, but they should have just drug him over to the police station, in hindsight. But they didn't. The argument I would go with is we took him out there to scare him. We took him out to scare him, and he was raping my sister, and the authorities weren't doing anything about it, and so we took him out into the woods to scare him. Didn't mean to kill him.
What do you think, Chicos?
I was thinking, where was the father in all this, man? Like, what about the girl's father?
Or mother,
Was
right?
he even around? He's not mentioned. I'm just curious because like I was saying earlier about the lack of positive father and male role models in this country. Maybe if there was something like that around, this could have been avoided. Maybe. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but I know damn well my son, I don't got to worry about him getting involved in any kind of crazy fucking cockamamie shit like this. He's a good boy. I fucking
Well,
raised him right.
Well, the thing is probably the young man, um, maybe the fathers aren't. It was the boy's stepdad, so obviously the mom was remarried, or the dad's or dad's in prison, or out of the question, out of their lives, man. Because if the biological dad was in their lives, dude, I guarantee this would have been the biological dad that did this.
Oh, he would have fucking hung that motherfucker up outside in the front yard.
So this is the story. This
I
is
know that's what I'd be doing, man.
So this
It's
is
like,
this is also in Texas. So a 17-year-old boyfriend of a teenage girl who was shot and killed in Southwest has been released from jail after he was arrested for her murder. Frank De Leon Jr. posted a $250,000 bond Wednesday morning, according to court records. He's charged with the murder of 15-year-old Diamond Alvarez. Family members heard gunshots around 11 on January 11th at 9:30. Grew worried because they knew Alvarez was outside walking her dog named Peanut.
hey Bear, can I interrupt you real quick, man? Because you're a dad, man. You got a daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. Got a couple of them.
So, what would you do? Like, would a piece of slime like this even be near your daughter? I mean, tell me you could not sniff that shit out a mile away and be like, "Nah, you ain't hanging around this motherfucker. He ain't coming around here." Like, would he even get that far?
Can't really say that because of my joint custody order, but I could tell you this much is that
Okay, well, let me rephrase the question. If you were in her life 100%, and you would some piece of slime be coming around your daughter like that? Like,
no, not like this.
bro, as a man, who's a piece of shit and who's not, man. Like, honestly,
Well,
would somebody be coming around your daughter like that? I know me for 100% fact would not. I mean, my daughter, she's 22. She just got her bachelor's degree in
congratulations.
criminology, and she lives with a boy, and he's a nice guy, man. He works full time as a mechanic at a dealership. He's doing good for himself. I've met him on numerous occasions. That boy has come down over to my house and eaten dinner with me at my house. Him and his daughter. I've cooked for him. And you know what I mean? I know who's around my daughter and who's not. And if I smell any kind of fucking negativity, I'd pick it up like a fucking bloodhound, dude. And
Are you
I'd be
talking
all
about?
over that motherfucker,
Are you
bro.
talking about?
I'm telling you.
Are you talking about Diamond Alvarez? Are you talking about the brothers?
No, I'm talking about my own personal experience.
No, I know, but are you telling me?
In Texas, the brothers that had to kill their sister's attacker. I
It was
mean,
their
dude,
stepdad.
I'm just saying, if you, huh?
It was their stepdad that they killed.
See, that's bad right there, dude, because there's no fucking dad, no real father. And I'm not saying that stepdads can't be a real dad out there. All I'm saying is it takes that positive role model to sniff shit like this, dude, and just stop it in the tracks before it even happens. That's all I'm trying to get to, like with that point.
I agree with you full heartedly, Chico's. If their biological dad would have been in these kids' lives, I don't think that I don't think the daughter, for one, would have got touched inappropriately. What do you think, John?
No, I don't think so. Well, it's hard to tell, and we don't know why the biological dad's not around, right? We really don't know
Well,
what's going on there.
and
But
don't get me wrong, even if it was the stepdad, say, like, because I'm not gonna bash on stepfathers, because there's a lot of stepfathers out there that step up and take that role as the good father, so
yeah,
just because
100%.
there's this one story doesn't mean that that they're all like that, because that's not true.
No, the
But I'm just
biological
saying that.
dad could be a drug addict. He could have been
Oh,
an
yeah,
abuser. He could be in prison. He could be dead. We don't know anything about the biological dad.
but the
We
biological
know,
dad.
yeah, we know by proof that if the biological dad is in the or any dad figure that's in the scenario, they're typically the kids turn out to be more well behaved, right? We know
Yeah,
that,
that's what
but
I'm saying. They need that positive male role model
where's
in
the
their
mother
life.
in this situation?
They're saying that she's looking at doing charges because she might have known that this was going down to begin with.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you that the stepdad was probably beating the hell out of her too. And so anytime he was raping the stepdaughter, he wasn't beating up the mother. And the mother was probably um, just ignoring the whole situation.
And that happens a lot too.
Yeah, it does. But
That's
she's
why
guilty of it. That's what I'm saying. They could have called the police. Any one of these four people, the mother and the three brothers, they could have called the police, and they should have.
that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, this world is just short of it's being cheated. It's being cheated of positive male role models, and that's it. That's just my main point, is that there needs to be real men out there, and the real men need to start stepping up, because we could avoid shit like this tenfold, if
Yeah.
they're out there.
That's
You
what.
know,
But the sad thing is, man, and now, think about the bigger picture of this story before we get into Diamond Alvarez. The everybody here is fucked royally. Everybody involved. The mother's either going to prison, or now she has to go visit her sons in prison, The daughter herself, the one that the victim, the main victim in all this, is now going to have to live the rest of her life with these kind of problems, these mental problems of being sexually abused. She's a victim. And then these three boys, young men, are losing their lives for the rest of it, probably going to death row, because this is Texas we're talking about, for capital murder.
Yeah.
And then the pedophile father is now being the pedophile stepfather is now being they're feeling sorry for him and charging these young men. So everybody's fucked in this entire story. There's not no hero in this story, because everybody in the end is
Nope.
fucked.
And you know what happens with young men who get raised in the prison system? The prison system is raising them, not their fathers, not any kind of positive real male role model. So they're going to end up, even if they do get out,
They're not. They're going
to
to
end up becoming career criminals.
No,
I mean,
they're
that's
never
just
getting out,
the way
dude. They're getting charged with capital murder in Texas. They're going to death row.
well, yeah, they're goners. Give them about 25, 30 years. And then,
Well, let me ask you this, and maybe I don't know the law, but capital murder makes it a federal case, right? So this is a federal case. This isn't necessarily a Texas deal. So if it's a federal case, I don't know if the federal government has the well, maybe they do. Maybe they still have the death penalty. I don't know if that's still a thing or not. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, the federal government still does have the death penalty. It's not
Okay.
abolished. So the no matter what, these guys are gonna die.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna do 20, 25 years on death row because of just the way it works.
I mean, but
Right.
think about that.
All the appeals and everything.
They're 17 years old, so they're gonna die at 42.
Yeah. Well, they got several years to make peace with God.
What do you think of that, Chicos? Do you think they deserve the death penalty for killing a pedophile?
No. And also, is there proof that he is a pedophile? I mean, according to that story, I mean, is he an accused? Like, has he been proven guilty as a pedophiler? I mean, just to get the story straight.
He was already on the run for molesting somebody. A 9-year-old.
Man, I don't understand how he got how those kids got charged in. I really don't.
So he was already on the run for molesting somebody else. Then he gets in this relationship with their mother, and he starts molesting their sister. I mean, seriously, at what point does the mother take blame for this? Because shouldn't she, John, if you and your beautiful wife were to ever get separated and before you got into another relationship, wouldn't you at least do a little bit of digging?
Digging in, what do you mean?
Into the next person you decide to date?
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean, if anything ever happened, I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, if I ever started dating somebody, I wouldn't go to Tinder and all this other nonsense. I would meet somebody the good old fashioned way, you know?
Yeah.
At the grocery store, at church, or in a bar.
What about you, Chicos? Before you get in your next relationship, aren't you going to do your due diligence? Once you make sure, because you have a young whippersnapper over there, wouldn't you make sure that the person you're getting involved with is at least somewhat super good to kids?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. That's one of the reasons why I'm still single, man.
Let me interrupt, because maybe she got involved with this guy while she was still married. Maybe it was a fling. Maybe it was a the 7-year itch or whatever, right? And that's why they're divorced, because she cheated on her husband with this guy, and she thought the grass was greener. We don't know this situation, right?
Yeah, you're right. But still, though, if you're gonna bring around your young child around, dude, even in my situation, I wait at least 6 months before I brought anybody around my kids. At least 6 months. Because there are bad people out there. I want to make sure that even in my current relationship, we waited a long time before we started bringing people into our kids' lives, because there are bad people out there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I looked it up, by the way. It says capital murder is the most serious crime in the state of Texas. It's the state's only offense punishable by death. The state will charge you with capital murder if the prosecuting attorneys believe you murdered someone under one of the circumstances that is described by the capital murder statute, and you can get more detail. So, yeah, it's not a federal case. It would just be a if you're found guilty of it, you're getting put to death.
And dude, they're not going to be on death row that long. Texas has the fastest death row rate in the country.
Yeah, it says this. It says it's capital murder if the person murders a peace officer or fireman who is acting in the lawful discharge of an unofficial duty or an official duty, and who the person knows as a peace officer or fireman. Or number 2, the person intentionally commits the murder in the course of committing or attempting to commit kidnapping, burglary, robbery, aggravated sexual assault, arson, obstruction, or retaliation. So there you go. That's why they're getting it, because of
the kidnapping.
The kidnapping part of it. That's right.
Dang, it just sucks though. If you really think about this, it sucks because I don't think these guys did anything that warrants the death penalty.
Well, according to the law, they did, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, we can look at it from an emotional standpoint. We can look at it from well, this is what I would do. Because let's face it, everybody here, if it was our sister or our daughter, we probably would have done the same thing. I don't know. Maybe. I hope not. I hope I'm not that type of person that's willing to take another's life. I would go the legal route. But I think most men are not going to tolerate it. And maybe in their mind and that time they're thinking, I'll do the crime, or I'll do the time. I did the crime, I'll do the time. But you're not thinking clearly. So I don't know. Tough one.
I agree, man. It just
Very
sucks. It's very tough. Like Chico's, like you guys are saying, it's tough because, but the jury's gonna have to figure out if this is a punishable by death too. Though it comes down to the jury too, because
yeah, of course,
you get somebody like me and you on the jury, we're gonna sit there and be like I said, I'd be like, I still have doubt. Me all day. In this case, I still have doubt.
I gotta interject. I'm kind of reading the comments on the side there. Latin Patriot, who the fuck you be dating, girl? No.
Damn. Sound the alarm.
I'm just teasing. What was that you, John, who sound the alarm?
No, that's Bear. He's messing with me.
And then you know what? When she answers back,
yeah,
man,
I don't know, dude. I just know, like, you as a father, like, if you raise a child, man, you know them from the time they come out of the womb. A baby, and I still look at my kids like that today. My son's 13, my daughter's 22. I mean, they're still like babies to me, though, man, because how time flies. It goes by so quick. And my kids they always just seem like my kids, man. You know what I mean? So
Dude,
I
my
couldn't
son's
imagine any
27
harm
years
coming
old.
their way. It's exactly. It's one of those things, and I could definitely understand the crime of passion in something like that. I mean, that's terrible. That's something that nobody would want to go through, and I just, like I said, it's a tough situation. There's no telling how you react in something like that.
That's right.
you know what they need? They need to put John on this jury. They need to call John and bring him over to Texas to sit on this jury.
Who, me?
Yeah, you couldn't. I don't think you could convict this guy.
It'd be tough.
I don't think Chico's could. I don't think Chico's could. I know I couldn't.
It'd be part of a hung jury, man. People would be like, motherfucker, we need to go home and shit. Why are you saying not guilty? I'd be all, well, bring me another fucking chicken dinner, and then I'll think about it again for another night.
The problem is, I mean, even if the jurors, you got to go by the laws. So even if there's one or two jurors that were like, yeah, I'm not going to convict the guy because he killed a child rapist or whatever, even the judge can overrule that and say, or they're going to have another trial, and the DA would try these guys until they either got a conviction or they got acquitted. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because of what's going on with the family members. But again, they should have tried to reach out to law enforcement.
Could you imagine being a defense lawyer? What would you say in a situation like this? Like if you were a defense lawyer? Because everybody that is a prosecutor has to go through the defense side at one point. You know what I mean? They had to go through that. How do you defend an animal like that? What do you
Right.
say? You know?
Yeah. That's. I don't know. You mean the prosecutor to prosecute?
No, I'm talking about the defense.
Because the
Like,
defense would be defending the killers, the three brothers that killed the guy.
oh, true. Okay. Oh, you got me there.
If I was on the defense, dude, I'd be like, you know what?
Huh.
I'd be like, I would say, you know what? These guys did a good job for public decency. God
Yeah.
bless
You'd
America.
be like, come on, why the fuck are we even here in the courtroom to begin with? Like, are you guys serious right now? I mean,
Here's what if I'm the defense, I'm going to say, look, think of it this way. All these three guys did was they basically think of it as them driving up your street on garbage day. All they did was take out your garbage for you, right? Instead of waiting for the garbage man to show up, they took out the garbage for you and they disposed of it properly.
yeah, right. They were doing a public service.
They were doing a
You
public
know,
service. That's
plain
right.
and simple.
Are you gonna hold these guys accountable because they took your trash? Come on.
Right. And you know what? Hey, taxpayers, let me tell you this. Now you don't have to feed this pedophile on death row for the next 10 years, 10, 15 years. You don't have to pay these taxes. Let these
Right.
guys out.
It's like that's a tax-free burden right there. It's off your shoulders. You don't got to worry about it no more.
If this was the Wild West, if you think about it, if this was like the 1800s, these guys would be applauded.
They'd be dude. That dude would have gotten hung in town square. Like they wouldn't even had to go that far.
That's right.
They would have lynched that motherfucker quick.
That's the way it used to work, man. It was quick. Justice was meant to be quick, but now, who knows? Who knows why the cops, the law enforcement couldn't figure out where this guy was, right? Why? That's what I don't understand.
Who's to blame for this, though? If you really think about it, who's to blame for these guys getting, who dropped the ball? Do you think it's the mom that dropped the ball? Do you think it was the cops that were looking for him, that they weren't looking hard enough for him? Was it the like Chico said, is it just bad, no father figure around where they had to step up and be the dad and made the wrong decision? I mean, because it's proven that somebody that is at their age, 18, 17 years old, the frontal lobe is not fully developed yet, so they make dumbass decisions.
Right.
I mean, so who's to blame? I mean, can they blame society for this dumb mistake? I mean,
I think I honestly believe that you're thinking too hard. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to put on a show, man. Trying to get
our
brains
I
racking.
mean, we could sit here, and that's what people like to do. They like to play the blame game. They're like, "Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault." No, I mean, they fucking did it. That dude was a grown man. He's a grown up, made his own decisions, and he was a pervert. And he had to deal with the consequences. He got fucking beat to death.
How old was the girl?
The girl was, let's see, both of the siblings were 18.
They're adults.
Brother had a half brother. Trying to figure out how. I know the one that he was arrested for and that he was on the run for was 9.
Oh my god! Oh, he was on the run
for a 9-year-old.
For a 9-year-old.
When he started shacking up with their mom, and then their mom. This article doesn't say how old the sister was.
Oh, here goes the cards again.
Chico's loves.
Yeah, I like to shuffle.
Yeah, but I don't know if the rest of the world wants to hear it.
Okay, we're both 9-year-olds. 9.
Oh, really? So the daughter, the sister was 9 years old.
Yep. The two brothers are in jail being accused of beating their stepfather to death following the accusation that he sexually assaulted their 9-year-old sister.
Oh my God!
So he was already in trouble. He was already in trouble for.
Where are the parents of this 9-year-old? Where are the parents of this 9-year-old? Let me ask that question.
Well,
Well,
the mother knew about it, right? The mother knew about it and supposedly was ignoring everything that was happening and wasn't reporting it. So she was kind of,
complicit.
because he was probably kicking the crap out of her. She was terrified. But that's as a parent, you got to throw yourself on a grenade for your kid.
I agree.
So that's there's no excuse for that. Where the dad is, we don't know, right? We don't know where the biological dad is.
See, because it says FAR police chief Andy Harvey revealed during a press conference Tuesday that Quintanilla had a 2019 arrest warrant for allegedly sexually assault abusing another 9-year-old minor that he was molesting from 2014 to 2016. I couldn't convict this dude. I couldn't convict these men. I really couldn't, dude. These young boys. Not knowing everything that we know now, I couldn't do it.
Man.
And now more than 200,000 signed petition to demand that the two Texas brothers and their friend are freed after they were charged with capital murder and held on $1 million bond for beating their stepfather to death. So people are already speaking out on this. They have 204,000 signatures to get them released from prison.
That's a lot of voices to make some change and rattle the cage. How do you never know how this could play out. I mean, a week from now, the story could change.
Well, think about this. Look what's going on in Canada right now. In Canada,
With the
you have
truckers.
over 1.5 million truckers protesting down there.
I heard about that. There's a lot of American truckers up in that protest too.
So
yeah, they got 55,000 semis that are heading to Ottawa. 55,000 semis, and then you got a million or 1.5 million people that are joining in. And then, did you see Trudeau? What he said today about that? He said that he just happened to be around someone who had COVID, so he's got to go in lockdown. He's got to go in lockdown for 5 to 10 days. So he's going to sit out this whole thing. The dude's a pussy, man. Trudeau ought to be slapped with a wet fish.
Bro, you can't even have no French name like that anyway, man. Trudeau. What the fuck? I'm just
so the point I was going to go with, the point I was trying to make was this: is you got the people's voices are heard. I mean, look what happened to the trucker here in Colorado. Enough people were able to get to raise enough commotion that they were able to lower him from 120 years in prison down to 10 years in prison. He'll be out in 4 years because he's already got time served. So, bro, what's going on in Texas with if you get over 300,000 signatures, and it's going to go up from here. Dude, a real change can be made where these guys could get off. Or at least lower their fucking bail. Come on.
Yeah.
You never know. It could happen.
I would be going after self-defense. I didn't realize this girl was 9 years old. If this girl's 9 years old, there's a good chance she probably doesn't have her own cell phone. She has no way to defend herself against this man. Her mother isn't helping her. Her mother knows this is happening and isn't helping. So this girl's life was in danger. If these kids acted to protect their sister from this monster, I'd be doing self-defense all day long. And I think if you go the self-defense route, you're going to have enough people on that jury that are going to be like, hell yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah, 9 years old.
9 years old.
I put the change.org petition in the chat. So if you guys want to sign the petition to help get these guys, because I like you said, John, a 9-year-old can't protect herself, man.
No, she has no way to defend herself.
Hey, Chicos, now knowing that she's 9, does that make even a difference for you?
Oh, it's been a big difference. I remember you already said how she was 9, and he's already on the run from another 9-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
This guy, I don't understand how these boys are being charged. with capital murder. That's beyond me.
Well, John said it was because they got him with the kidnapping. If they
Still,
hadn't kidnapped him, they would have just killed him on the spot. It wouldn't have been capital murder. Some weird rules that they have, right, for these charges.
some
Yeah.
stupid ass rules.
So
Really stupid.
So let's talk about the truckers in Canada. Do you think having that many people march in Canada, knowing where we're at in Canada, you know how Canada is, do you think that's even going to make a difference, or do you think Trudeau's still just going to be all?
Well, I think what's hurt. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird situation because the Canadian press is not covering it at all. They're burying the story. The United States press is doing everything they can to bury the story, but there's a lot of conservative alternate media. I mean, Tim Poll talked about it today, and I'm not sure about what's his name in the morning.
Crowder?
Yeah, Crowder. I don't know if he talked about it, but there's a lot of conservative news. There's a lot of just like our show. I mean, our show's going this stream here is going to get seen by a lot of people that may not know what's going on. So they'll be able to look it up and find, more detailed things that's going on. But in Canada, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Like I said, Trudeau is already making excuses that he's got to go quarantine himself because he was around somebody with COVID. So he's going to duck out. So even if the press wanted to talk to the pussy in charge up there, they can't find him because he's going to be locked away somewhere because of COVID. It's all a bunch of BS. Right?
Well, they're saying that they're not leaving.
I know, and they should take those 50,000 trucks and circle that entire city and shut it off. And they ought to starve him out. It ought to be like a David Koresh. And if he don't come out in 80 days, he ought to go in and burn a damn place down.
Damn, you just said go Branch Davidian on their ass.
Hey, I have no sympathy for fascists like Trudeau. I just don't.
What do you think, Chico? Do you think these truckers can make a difference?
I hope so. I really do. I like to think positive, especially in times like these and the way things are going in this country. I like to be as positive as possible, and I'm really crossing my fingers that it could make some kind of difference. I really am. Because shit, man, you know what we're going through, gentlemen. I mean, with the shitty economy and our fucking bumbling president, I guess, if you want to call him a president, god damn. I mean, things have just been going to shit, man.
I'm at the point with this administration, man. So I went grocery shopping yesterday, right? Me and Freeberg, we went grocery shopping, and dude, I was like, okay, we're gonna spend like $150, right? That's our budget for the week.
You got like a head of lettuce and some bologna, huh?
Just about, bro. I got I used to be able to go get like $150. I used to be able to get like almost 2 weeks worth of food for me and the kids. Dude, I got like a day's worth of groceries, dude, for $150. I was like, what the fuck? I got like some Hot Pockets, some taquitos, a couple pounds of hamburgers, some drumsticks, and a few chicken breasts.
So I'm saying that's why hunting, man, that's where it's at, dude. I mean, you can put in, I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but in the state of New Mexico, $150 will put in an elk license for a draw for an elk for me and my son. And I mean, you look at a good size. I mean, you can bring home 100 pounds of meat. You know what I mean?
Easy with an elk, you could probably bring 250 pounds of meat home. Right?
Oh yeah. See,
yeah.
I'm just like leaning towards the small, like a little doe or something. But still, yeah, you're right. 250 pounds of meat, man. How long is that gonna last? Two people, like me and my son.
They'll probably go bad before you get eat it all.
Nah,
you'd have to have a big deep freezer.
I got a lot of friends, family, so of course I'd be passing it around. But how many families is that? Like, how many immediate families is that? Is that feeding right there?
A
You know,
lot.
exactly. So that the way I look at it is there's a lot more to survival than just getting canned foods and ammunition. You know what I mean? You need to learn to live off the land. If you want to garden, for grow your own fruits and vegetables, go get your own meat. Now is the time to learn that stuff, man. You got to pick that up because it's gonna come down to it eventually. I mean, look at the way shit's going. You know, it's gonna be survival of the fittest. You need to
Well,
learn to live
people,
off the land.
yeah, people
Yeah.
got to figure out how to prep and how to do homesteading and that type of stuff. And instead of going out and buying expensive cars and buying big houses, you ought to be buying land. And you ought to be watching a hell of a lot of YouTube videos on how to live off that land and how to
Mhm.
use hydroponics, how to grow things with hydroponics, how to uh, raise even like goats or pasture pigs or chickens, whatever. You got to start figuring it out. You got to figure out how to farm. So hunting is a big part of it, and farming
Yeah.
is the other part of it because you got to get the vegetables. You got to know how to can. You got to know how to dehydrate food. You got to get a good dehydrator
Yeah.
and
Well, you
freeze
saw the
dryer
land.
and all that stuff.
You saw the
And
land I have.
I read that comment, Nana, and I like that. Had to come down to New Mexico to grab that outcome. Because I'm just saying, that's just the way it is, and you got to learn that. You know, you can't
Plus,
just rely on fucking other people to get you your food and your survival. You got to do it for yourself.
plus, you could also get you a goat. A goat will take care of your yard, and a goat will take care of the
Got to
weeds in your area.
I
get
hate
nanny
goats,
goats,
man.
and you can milk nanny goats. And let me tell you something, milk. You may not like goat milk, but if you're starving, goat milk is a lot better than no milk.
Well, it's not about goat milk. I just hate their eyes, man. They're fucking disgusting looking. Their eyeballs bug me out. You know what I mean? Goat eyes. That's the one thing that I just look at goats and I'm like, ew. You
Well, you got to
nasty
teach them at a
motherfucker.
young age to wear sunglasses.
Right. Uh,
Dude, it's
I'm
crazy.
But yeah, even now, like, look at all those feral hogs running around the South. I mean, shit. That's, how much bacon and ham is just running around fucking wild right now, dude. I mean, there's so much out there, and people are just hung up on too much stupid political crap, like when they talk about like the crap I've been hearing about in the news lately with Joe Biden. Um, oh, he's living up to his promises. He's gonna put a black woman in the Supreme Court. Like, who cares? Like, why is that important? That's fucking stupid, dude. I
It
don't,
should be the most qualified person should be recommended to the Supreme Court.
exactly. Well, even then, even if it was the most qualified person in the world and they could be like the most minority fucking person, I still don't give a shit. How is that going to put dinner on my table tonight? It's like, it's fucking stupid, dude. I
I
just
think
don't, I
Chico's is
don't
a
get it.
libertarian at heart.
Let me
I
read this
guess.
story, okay? Because back in 2003, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Back in 2003, Joe Biden filibustered and voted against the nomination of a black woman to the federal bench. How about that?
I could believe that because him and the Clintons are like really good friends with that Grandmaster KKK guy that
Bird.
died.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Yeah, like, and then here's another thing, which is weird. I don't give a fuck about that either. Like, it doesn't shock me that they're fucking racist and they're satanic devil worshippers or anything like. So why do we even care about them? Why are they even relevant in our news? Like why do we even have quote unquote news that talks about these people? Like, why should we give a fuck? I really don't. I really don't. You know, this whole thing, it's stupid to me. I fucking hate the news. I fucking hate everything on TV. I really do.
Don't lie, you
And
love Elvira.
that's different. That's different. She's not relevant anymore, though, dude. I mean, we were just talking about that.
I was just giving
So-
you shit, bro.
It's like I could sit there and watch an old movie and be like, "Oh yeah, that's great," you know. But I'm gonna get on with my life. Anything else, it's like it's so stupid anymore, dude. I'm just fucking tired of it.
Well, this is good news because it shows the hypocrisy of Joe Biden and what a racist he is at heart. In 2003, then President George W. Bush nominated Janice Rogers Brown, an associate justice on the California Supreme Court, to serve as a judge on the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. She was the first Black woman nominated by the federal branch. But Rogers Brown had a problem. She was a libertarian conservative and refused to play ball with the civil rights organizations. One of her major decisions was a dissent in the case of forcing cigarette manufacturers to put warning labels on packs and cartons, a truly libertarian decision. She also attacked the New Deal, which gave us Social Security and other programs as the triumph of our socialist revolution. You can imagine the anger of her liberal colleagues over that one. But Joe Biden, champion of civil rights and the president who has gloried in naming the first minorities to several positions in his administration, filibustered against her nomination and voted twice against her. When Biden had the chance to vote for a Black woman, he declined.
Because at that point, it didn't fit his narrative.
Well, yeah, because it's not about Black, it's not about Latino, it's not about gay, it's not about transgendered, it's about liberalism, communism, Marxism, fascism, whatever name you want to put on it. It's about the ideology. And if you don't fit in the ideology, it doesn't matter if you're a dude, or you're a chick with a ding-a-ling or not. It doesn't matter if you're
Chick with
Black
the
as
dick.
night. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, Latino, a woman, whatever. It makes no difference. If you don't
George
adhere to the
W.
ideology, you don't get to play ball.
George W. Bush was part of Skull and Bones. Man, fuck those guys. I'm sorry, man. You lost me, John. You lost me. I don't care about any of them at all. I don't care about Joe Biden. I don't care about Bush. I don't care about anybody in the Supreme Court. I don't give a fuck about anybody in politics or in the government anymore. At this point, they're dead to me. They're dead to me. All of it. It's fucking horse shit. And I'm tired of the fucking horse shit, man. I really am. I'm like, I'm at this point to where I'm going to live off the land. I'm going to fucking survive on my own. You want to come to my doorstep and you want to talk shit or you want to fucking take over my fucking property, you're going to get shot in the face. Plain and simple.
True libertarian.
Don't kidnap him first.
I don't give a fuck. Call it what you want. If you're a libertarian and you come to my door and you're trying to fucking rob me, you're going to get shot in the head. I don't give a fuck if you're libertarian, if you're Democrat or conservative, whatever you call yourself, you're a dead man.
What is
in my eyes.
Are you a Chicotarian?
I'm Chicotarian all day. I'm not going to label it. I'm an American, bro. Straight and true. I want my independence. I want my freedom. And I want to be independent from all of today's fucking media, news, society, any of that. It's fucking dumb. I'm going to go shopping in your grocery store. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm going to wear my cowboy hat. And if you don't like it, then tell me something. Nobody tells me nothing, so I do what the fuck I want. I'm spending my money. I earn my money. I pay my taxes. Leave it at that. You know what I mean? Leave me the fuck alone. I'll leave you the fuck alone. That's all it. That's all it is, man.
Latin Patriot says, "Are you going to move away from the city?"
I want to eventually. I want to. I really wish I could, but no, I do. I own my own home here in the city. I work 2 miles away from where I live. It is quite convenient, but if I could buy my own fucking ranch and just have like 10 acres somewhere, I'd be the fucking happiest man alive. Guaranteed.
Can I ask you a question, Chicos?
Yes.
Do you know the difference between Neil Young and Neil Diamond, or are they the same person?
They're the same. I don't give a fuck
Oh,
about
fuck
either
you, John.
one
I
of
know you're
them.
done with this.
Fuck them.
You know what? You know
If
what?
you go on Spotify and you make money for selling your music to somebody, I don't care about you. I don't.
So,
Fuck
yeah,
'em.
dude. So yesterday, bro, I was on John's channel, and John he was talking about Neil Young, and I'm like, the only thing that he's ever did good was Sweet Caroline for the Boston Red Sox. He's like, dude, that's Neil Diamond. I was like, oh fuck.
That was
Was
funny.
Wasn't Neil Diamond in that Saving Silverman movie? I love that movie because R. Lee Ermey, the world's most famous Marine. Now that R. Lee Ermey is a celebrity that I'll always respect and admire. R. Lee Ermey, the world's most famous Marine, and I know he's long dead now.
Hey man, Dan Diafro took him out though, didn't he? In Full Metal Jacket.
Who, Neil Diamond?
Yeah, it was fake. It was a movie. It wasn't real. And it was Vincent D'Onofrio, not
Vincent,
Dan.
yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. I love Full Metal Jacket when he's sitting there on the toilet. 5.56 millimeter Full Metal Jacket. Boom! Is that you, John Wayne?
So who the fuck said that? Who's the cocksucker that signed his own death warrant that fucking said that?
What are you mental midgets doing in my head?
Dude, that's a classic movie, bro. Like I love Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
remember, Bear, I was telling you, dude, when I get out there and I get me my elk, because oryx are kind of expensive right now, but an elk or a buck, those are pretty decently priced. That video is going to come soon. I'm going to show everybody this is how you gut and skin an elk, and I'm going to post it on YouTube because
and that's when he gets a strike.
Yeah, I mean, okay, people will look at it and say, it's disgusting. No, it's not. It's fucking meat. You know, that's the way you need to look at it. And that animal is dying so many people could live for a long time. So it's humane. It's the most humane way to take an animal. I mean, shit. Look at these McDonald's farms and these fucking
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, not just that, but who's that one dude? Bill Gates. Look at all the damn farms he's buying up and what he's doing and all the jabs he's putting in everybody's buttholes. You know, he's fucking this dude's a mass genocide fucking disgusting pervert. You know what I mean?
You need to change this channel to call it the rabbit hole.
The jab butthole rabbit hole.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of catchy.
I hope you guys haven't gotten your black goo, your Fauci juice shots, man, because you done fucked up if you did, man. I just got over COVID, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's nothing like the news says. It's nothing to be scared about. It's fucking a farce, and it's stupid.
Well, you just got a strike, Bear.
It's Chico's channel too, so we got a strike.
Oh, my bad. Did I say COVID? Because I meant the coof.
It says,
all right.
Latin Patriot, do any wild animals come on my property? No, they don't, unfortunately.
Yeah,
We
right,
get
bro.
some.
You see where fucking Bear lives? He lives in the ghetto, man. He's got all kinds of wild animals fucking roaming around his property. I seen it firsthand, bro. You were trying to show me your Mustang, and I seen all these motherfucking drug addicts
I don't live
roaming
in that. I
free.
don't live in that house no more. I actually bought a house up the hill.
Yeah.
What? I
I
don't know.
bought a
I didn't
different
see
house.
no good hills out there in Pueblo, man. It's dirty out
Listen, his dogs in the
I'm just
backyard
kidding.
are going to keep any wild animals out.
there.
He's got dogs that are like 8 feet tall back there. Their teeth are like a foot long, hanging out of their mouth. Yeah.
Dude, I sent Freeberg out there to go to go out there and feed them. Dude, I went out there the other day, dude, and we got some snow, and she went out there to go feed the dogs, and I went out. I heard her go, ah! She slipped and fell on the ice. It was sliding down, and the dogs were trying to save her by trying to grab her by the collars. She wouldn't slide anymore. It was funny, man.
Oh my goodness.
The dogs are good there, but it was funny.
Yeah, there would be no wild animals coming around there.
Yeah, my dogs would get them.
Yeah,
I think we
there'd
had a
be-
raccoon, and I found all I found was a skin.
We
Damn,
get
bro.
feral hogs down here. They're called what are they called? Those pigs, those javelinas. We get javelinas in our neighborhood, and we got coyotes.
Are they delicious?
I don't know. No, I don't
The
think so. I don't.
pigs.
They're gross. They're like giant,
sure the
like
pigs would be.
rats.
Bro, you need John, you need to invite me or Bear in your neck of the woods, man, and show me some of those wild pigs, man. I'll take one of those home for you. Get them out of your neighborhood.
No,
I
dude,
mean-
they're like big rats, man. They're gross. The meat is disgusting. You don't eat those things.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're not like feral hogs down in Texas. They're almost like a giant rat. They're like I don't know what family they're part of, but they're disgusting.
Are they tearing up all the
Garbage
like
cans.
crops and shit out there and gardens?
You know, unfortunately, a lot of the farms aren't here anymore. They're all full of houses. We have, since I've been here in Maricopa County, the city has grown by 1.4 million people.
Gosh, dang.
Damn.
Yeah, we've got 5.5 million people just in Maricopa County.
That's like
Yep.
twice the population of the whole state of New Mexico.
I know. Yeah. All these idiots from California, that they can't make it over in California because they turned their state into, sidewalks filled with shit and homeless everywhere. So now they're going to come over here and turn our great city of Phoenix into LA East.
That's good
What's
stuff,
up with
though,
all
right?
these Californians, man? Like, what the fuck? Where are
No
they coming
offense
from?
to Latin Patriot, but your state's a shithole.
Oh yeah, Lat Pat, man, you from California? What the fuck is up with that? Shit, I seen a video on her channel one time, and I thought that was crazy. Like she was in a Target, I guess, filming people in Target wearing their masks. And it's like that's how all Targets are, though. You go to a Target, everybody's wearing a fucking face diaper and a muzzle and walking around.
You know what? Back in like the 90s, remember that like 96 to like 2005, Michael Jackson used to walk around with a mask. You remember that? And people used to make fun of him. And now, like, he would be fitting right in with everybody else wearing the mask, umbrella. It isn't.
Yeah, everyone turned into a goddamn Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh my God.
But am I right though? Do you remember watching like the news and they'd be making fun of Michael
I
Jackson?
remember watching Michael Jackson dangling his baby over the fucking balcony.
No, but I'm just saying though, like you would see him go to the zoo and he would be wearing a mask and they would be making fun of him for wearing a mask. And now
well, that's because his nose fell off and he was walking around with no nose.
I don't know if anybody that's wearing a mask now doesn't have a nose that's fallen off.
Bro, you know what, Nick, man? I know you love Michael Jackson, but that dude was a freak, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just come out and say it straight up. Like
Yeah, he was a
you
bit
know
of a
what?
goof.
He didn't. He obviously he did not have a good childhood, man. Something fucked him up.
Hey, and he had a strong male authority figure in his life too.
Not that strong. He just wanted to
All right.
make him famous, man. They were on some kind of weird shit, bro. I don't know. I didn't grow up in that family, so I can't speak too much of it.
All right, I got to show you. I don't know if it's showing up to share, but I want to share my Twitter. All right, let me
there.
blow this up. Yeah, let me blow this up real quick. This is what liberals think about. Like, this is the insanity of these idiots. Is it expanding? Maybe not. I don't know
No.
why it's not. Oh, there it is. Can you read it? Probably
Does
not
a
yet.
person wearing an N95 or KN95 mask need to cover their mouth when they cough, like when they would, like? Does a person wearing an N95 or KN95 mask need to cover their mouth when they cough, like they would when they're not wearing a mask? Just saw someone wearing a mask not cover their mouth, and first was pissed, and it was like, well, so what's the consensus?
I mean, can you imagine living your life thinking about stupid shit like this? I mean, this is like at first he was angry because somebody coughed in an N95 mask and didn't cover his mouth, and that pissed you off. That's something that set you have to be mentally insane.
I don't understand how they watch too much TV, man. I don't understand the fucking question. I'm just like, what? What's that? How do you know they were wearing a N95 KN95 mask? Like, who the fuck cares about that, dude? Like, I don't know, man. That's fucking dumb.
Chico's wearing a straw hat, okay?
You know,
Resist all. This is a good hat, bro.
Hey, I grew up in
Like,
the '90s, bro, where we played outside, tackle football with no pads, probably ate dirt. I think are vaccinated from everything.
dude, I remember one time when I was a kid, I fucking
I don't
was
know how to
riding my
stop
bike
staring.
down a steep hill in this park that was by our house, and I ran over a pile of wet dog shit, man. It got in my mouth. And it fucking tasted like it smelled, dude. Like straight shit. But did I die? No.
Yes.
Was I wearing a KN95 mask? No. Do I fucking care now? No, I don't. I'll remember it, but I don't give a fuck, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Sometimes you just gotta eat the shit, bro. That's just how life is.
Dude, that should be a shirt. Eat the shit, because that's the way life is.
Sometimes you
Right?
just got to eat the shit.
Yeah. Sometimes life just gives you a fucking mouthful of shit, bro. Are you gonna chew on it or are you gonna bitch about it?
Dude, I'm at the point, bro. Like, how are we as Americans like not fed up with this? Like, I don't care if I get. And a lot of these people that are complaining, dude, they claim to be Christian, right? And what irritates me about that is you're not supposed to be afraid of death, because death could come at you at any point. And when God calls you home, whether it's from COVID, AIDS, you get the herpes, or if it's time for you to die, you get hit by a bus, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a KN95 or N95 or 93.9. Nobody gives a fuck. God's gonna call you home when it's time for you to go home.
Uh-oh, we got a goofball in the chat room. You gotta ban that person.
You know what? Maybe they got something to say. Maybe they're just like excited and they type something real fast and it comes out stupid.
I'm sure.
Maybe we can give them a chance to say something. Hey, if you want to speak English, sutta pata kaka, kuna waka waka sasa. Say something, man.
It's a porn bot.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, it looks Russian or something to me. And lately I've been buying a lot of Russian bullets because they're cheap.
Yeah, but dude, they're gonna jam if they're steel. Are they steel casing?
Steel casing, but they have like a synthetic polymer over them.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It's like a rust resistant type of thing.
Yeah, but it's gonna jam, dude.
Well, I haven't had one jam yet, so we'll put it at that.
And the bullets
the
themselves
only
have
thing is
steel in them, and they mess up the inside of your barrel, dude. Those things, the Russians shoot
casing.
AK-40. Yeah, well, no, the bullet itself has steel in it too, and it'll mess
Oh,
up the
you know
barrel.
what? I do. I have and I call it my commie. I have an AK-47. It's a bad motherfucker, though. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what.
that'll shoot anything. But if you start putting Russian bullets in your 44, or your, or not 44, but your 45 or your 9mm, you're gonna mangle.
No, actually, the only Russian bullets I have other than my AK is I have shotgun buckshot shells.
All right, yeah, there you go.
And they've actually been
Tell me
working
about your
pretty good.
phone.
You know,
What was that, Bear?
Bear? What was that?
Oh, I was checking something on my phone and the video popped up.
Oh, he's
looking at-
uploading porn.
I was looking at another story.
What happened to the phone number at the bottom of the screen?
Nobody
You don't
wants
mind
to call and talk to you, Chicos.
Come on, Pat, call.
Did she
Call
call
up
when
that
we were in New Mexico?
Yeah,
She
when
did.
we were doing our show in the hotel room.
Come
Yeah.
on, girl. Let's
She
talk.
said all this weapon talk is too damn sexy for her, Chicos. You're making her.
Well, then call up then.
Me and John will fall out.
Yeah. I'm gonna
What kind of
bail.
weapons do they got in California? Like bananas and rocks and shit, or
The biggest weapon in California is Newsom.
Did you guys see when Newsom was up on the railroad tracks and he was picking up trash and he was like, "We got to make it better for California." And the only reason why he's doing that is because freaking
Cameras were there.
yeah, the cameras were there.
right?
And but the thing what was funny about that whole situation was like he's sitting there saying that only simply because the I wasn't the Northern Pacific Railroad said that they were going to start pulling their trains out and rerouting them out of California because
Dude, they're getting robbed constantly. They're getting like 90 of their train, their Connex boxes robbed every day, and then the people are just ripping off. They're just stealing everything out of the boxes and leaving the trash everywhere. And the rail line's like, listen, the authorities do nothing about this. Nobody gives a damn.
They need to go old school and arm these train conductors like they did the old coach wagons in the old West. Give them some fucking double barrel shotguns. God damn it! Let them fucking shoot the fuck out of these robbers. You know, that would be fucking awesome.
Well, they have a train patrol, don't they? Don't they have like train police, railroad police? And they're not doing their job because every time they arrest them, they're getting out with no bail and going back on to go redo it again. So like, there's really no point for them to have all this going down because in the end, they're going to get let out on $20 bail and back to stealing from the trains.
Well, and they also found out it's easier just to go into your local Neiman Marcus and just, broad daylight and just steal everything. Why try to break into a train and have to unbox everything when you can just walk into any, high-end store and just steal whatever you want right off the racks. You don't have to deal with the boxes or anything. And then you can just go down a block from Neiman Marcus and sell it on the street.
Man, I used to think people selling steak out of Safeway was ghetto.
Selling tamales in the Safeway parking lot.
Oh, like I would see people like when I used to be a mail carrier, I was carrying the mail and this guy comes running at me and he was like, "Hey, you want to buy some T-Bones porterhouse steaks?" And I was like, "Where'd you get these at?" He's like, "Oh, I just got it from Safeway." And he pulls them out of his pants. I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm good. I don't need no dick steak."
That's Pueblo for you, bro.
Right?
What was up with that fucking pimp walking that one time? We were driving downtown going to your spot, bro. Remember? We were going to that Coors brewery or something. And
there we go.
Some dude in some kind of what was it? Like, yeah, dude, he was wearing some kind of fucking fur coat.
Did he have goldfish in his heels and his?
He pretty much damn well did, man. It was fucking weird. He was wearing like fucking skunk fur or some shit. Like
skunk fur.
Yeah, that was
probably
weird,
something
bro.
Bear's dog tore up.
I stopped in some dispensary too, downtown Pueblo, because it had all kinds of stars on Google or whatever. Then I stopped there, man. Some fucking guy hits me up, man, as soon as I got out of my truck, and he's like, "Yo, man, do you think if I give you some money, can you buy me like a joint and then a certain grams of this and that and this?" And I'm like, he looked fucking older than me, and I'm like, "Why are you asking me to? You only got to be 21 to go in here and buy this shit, man."
Hey,
And I told him, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I took his money, and then I got stopped by security as soon as I went in. And they're just like, "We saw someone outside on the cameras. He was talking to you. Did he ask you to buy some stuff?" And I was like, "No." So I just went in, and he's like, just so you know, if you're going to buy some stuff for somebody off the street like that, we're never going to let you back here again. Like I cared. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
well,
shit.
that's why it's a 5-star, man. They don't
Yeah, I
want
was
people
like,
that.
I don't give a fuck. I come to Pueblo to go shop at your fucking shop, Like, I don't give
Now, hey, I don't know if you heard the news yet,
a
but the mayor of Albuquerque is considering changing the name to South Pueblo. I don't know if you knew that or not.
South Pueblo, New Mexico.
dude. You know what, bro? You guys could have my mayor. Take him. I don't.
And I'm going to tell you
I did
this
not
too.
vote for him. He's a piece of shit.
I'm going to tell you this too, okay? Because this might start a fight, but I got to hang with Bear and his Pueblo peppers, okay? His chilies. That hatch has nothing on the Pueblo pepper.
Right? I'm sure Pueblo's like their chili is as good as your chili is out in Arizona.
Hey, hey, I'm not going to support Arizona. I'm a Pittsburgher, man.
Yeah,
I just happen to live in Arizona.
Those Pueblo chilies are shaped like dicks, man. I'm glad you guys like sucking on those. That's cool.
Well, they clean you out too.
Hey, so John, let me ask you a question, bro. Your cornerback retired today, man. Did you cry a little bit?
Oh, dude, I watched the video. It was unbelievable.
Did you cry?
I didn't really cry, but I could feel the lump. I had
What
the
are you,
lump.
a Cardinals fan or what?
Ben
What are you talking about?
Roethlisberger retired today.
Steelers, man.
Oh,
Steelers. Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I wear the Arizona hat is because one, I live in Arizona, and two, I spent a lot of money down at the University of Arizona. You know what I'm saying? My daughter goes there, so got to support the Bear Down, go Cats. But I'm a Pittsburgher.
Done with her. Is she about to graduate too?
Yeah, she's got about a year left.
That's cool, man. What's she going for? If
Architecture.
You don't mind me asking. Oh, nice, man. Now that's a good degree.
Yeah. She didn't go for some stupid degree, nor would we let her go for, like basket weaving or some senseless
underwater
basket
degree. Weaving, political science, or fucking.
You didn't let her
go. The funny thing is, people they'll go get a business degree, and they'll spend $100,000 to get a business degree, and then they complain because they don't have any money to open a business.
Yeah.
Like, don't be stupid.
They won't even get a job to
everything
learn
you learned
how business works.
Everything you learned in business school, you could have picked up in about 20 YouTube videos. Save the money, save the $100,000, and go open your own business.
Or even just like buy a secured credit card and build your own credit, and after a while maybe apply for a business loan. It doesn't take a fucking college degree to do that.
Or just buy a couple of $1,000s in camera equipment and start a YouTube channel.
Or you can actually go out and get yourself some clippers, and you can be a groomer overnight.
I should go open a grooming business out there in Arizona. I heard that they you don't need much except for some clippers in an online class.
That's it. That's all you need. You don't even need an online class. All you need is the clippers. If you want to take the online class, we encourage you to, but that's not required. All you got to do is go out and get yourself some clippers and burn the hell out of dogs and cats. And if they live, great. If they're dead, oh well, don't worry about it.
How many poker players do we have in the panel tonight?
None. I suck at poker.
I was going to say, what would you think? Look, I'm not looking. I just shuffled.
We know. We can hear it.
If you
Yeah.
get these cards
It sounds like you're
in
shuffling
your
them in
hand,
my
what would you
ear.
think? What do I got? A 3 of clubs and a 5 of diamonds.
Yeah,
Would
that's a
you
garbage
fold or
hand.
play?
I'm folding that. That's crap. Unless do you think you're going to go for the straight? It ain't happening. And even if it does, it's a crappy low straight. You fold and you move on. Unless you were in the big blind and everybody checked, and then you play
gotta
a hand, then you got to play. Yeah.
What's that? A 5? I
And a
can't read.
7.
8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds. Or
I'm
8 of
folding.
hearts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm
folding.
folding.
Garbage. You know
That's
what's
right.
weird though? When I'm not holding up to the camera, I'm fucking getting kings and aces and all that shit.
Still folding.
Yep. Good call, Bear. Good call. You know what? That's the thing about playing poker too. You're folding most of the time.
Yeah.
If you're not,
exactly.
then you lost.
Yeah, but if you fold too much, then they know when you play you're going to have a hand and they're going to fold. So it's a delicate walk there.
You're thinking too hard, John.
No, I'm not. There you
Look at
go.
that. Woo.
Oh
That
boy.
was a 4. I didn't mean to drop that, but still, a 5 and a 6, still even better than a 4 and a 5. And they're not suited.
Yeah.
Would you play it?
Only on the
Depends.
conservative Chicanos could you come in, get some poker advice, and listen about some news.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you, Lat Pat? Would you play that?
Nope.
No, that's garbage.
See, you're giving her too much advice.
So what? So when it comes, I wanted to talk about the Diamond Alvarez story about the
Not bicycle cards, they're James Bond cards, Scoop
the
Dog.
the 17-year-old boyfriend of a teen girl who shot and killed his girlfriend in South Houston. He got a $250,000 bail. I mean, that shows the dude. I think he should have got the $1 million bond while the brothers got a $150,000 bond. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand this inconsistency with this bail business. And you've got these states out there that have this cash bail, which is basically, maybe $1,000, maybe $500. Doesn't matter what you did, they're letting you back on the streets for $500 because it's racist, to keep you in jail, or it's racist to have a $1 million bond or whatever. But I think we're going too soft on crime.
Well,
We
AOC is saying there's people out there that just want to steal a loaf of bread.
Well, AOC has giant teeth and looks like a horse and needs bitch slapped, but that's a whole
I
different
agree.
story. No, but
I
in
agree.
all honesty, I think we're going way too soft on crime in this country. This country used to be a country about law and order. This country used to be about we were a country of laws. We weren't a country of people.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah.
Now we're making it about a country of people. In other words, it depends on who you are, what your race is, where you're from, who. If you're a Hollywood actor, you can do whatever you want to do. You can shoot someone in the face in Albuquerque and get away with it.
Santa Fe.
I thought it was Albuquerque, but whatever. I mean, New Mexico, you're out killing people in New Mexico, but because you're a Baldwin, you can walk away from it. If that was any one of us, we would be in prison. There's no consistency.
I think this country just needs more vigilante
to
wake up the justice system. Maybe we should do that. Take a part of ourselves to just be a little more vigilante. And when I say vigilante, be vigilant of crimes going on. And if you hear something weird going on, don't ignore it. Approach it. Maybe grab your pistol. Is this bad advice?
It might be. It might be. I mean, no, in all seriousness, though, it's this left-wing liberal utopian bullshit that is just tearing down our justice system. And if there's no justice, if we're not going to be able to lock people up until their day in court, then we're going to have anarchy. And that's where we're heading.
Well, what happens if people stop ignoring it and they start taking action and they do start doing vigilante? Would we have anarchy? Or would people, or would the majority of law-abiding citizens put a stop to it.
Put a stop to vigilantism.
No, put a stop to the fucking horseshit crime going on.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Like if
know,
more people just like grew some balls and said, you know what, fuck that. I hear some noise down the road. I hear a baby screaming their head off. I'm gonna go fucking check it out, and I'm gonna fucking knock on their door with my pistol in my hand. I mean, this could be bad advice,
it's probably bad advice, right?
but what would happen if everyone started doing that? What would happen? I mean, just ask yourself that question. If that started happening, could there be a stop to a lot of the bullshit that we're seeing nowadays?
Yeah. So more of like a neighborhood watch, but like with ARs.
Well, you don't have to have an AR. Say all you got is a fucking 380 or a 22. Fuck it.
Mossberg 20 gauge, right? Whatever.
Or you got a buck 119. You don't even have a fucking gun. And you're just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm tired of hearing the dumb shit going on down the road. Cops don't ever show up. I'm going to go knock on the door. I'm going to see what's happening.
Ugh. In today's
Yeah.
world, I mean, yeah, I mean, it'd
Right?
be great if law enforcement supported you.
Do you think that person might be expecting a knock at their door from just some random person? Or would
You
you
know,
throw them off guard?
that's what I liked about the Pinal County Sheriff and the Maricopa County Sheriffs here in Arizona. They used to have posses, right? And these posses were volunteers, and there was like 20,000 of them, and they were like deputized, and
Lynch
they didn't.
mob.
I mean, it worked though, because the posse was everywhere. And if there was crime going on and the first responders couldn't make it, the posse showed up. They were listening to the radio. They jumped in their car and they were there. And but they were approved, and they were part of the actual Sheriff Joe Arpaio's posse. So they they weren't just your average citizen. But I'm all for that. I'm all
Look at
for
the
that.
politics nowadays, man. You think they're gonna approve anything? Sometimes you just gotta fucking take it in your own hands. I don't know, man. I think I've been I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of shit, dude. Honestly, I'm getting tired of shit all the time, bro. Fucking I was telling Bear too, just the other night, man, and this was only a couple blocks from where I live. There's a lot of Chinese massage parlors around here, but there's these guys. They've been going around recently robbing them, and one of these little Chinese girls tried to get a gun to protect herself, and they ended up beating her and killing her. Like it was a savage, brutal fucking murder, and this was just on Monday. Um, and you can't help but feel like terrible for these people. And the bad thing is these two guys are still out there. They didn't get caught by the police or anything like that. Like when does this shit end, man?
I don't know.
Somebody's got to. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to start patrolling the streets and shit. I don't have time like that, in reality. But fuck, man. I'm at the point to where if I see some weird shit going on, I'm just not going to fucking ignore it no more, dude. Like, someone's got to do something, dude. And I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah, the problem is that you're not going to get the support. If the cops do show up, they're going to take you in, and you're going to be sitting behind a jail bar somewhere. That's the problem. The problem is that the legal side doesn't protect the vigilante, even if the vigilante's doing the right thing. We were talking about that. That's the whole thing with these kids that try to protect their sister and beat the shit out of their rapist stepdad.
And I understand that, man. And I'm not going to go out just looking for some weirdo to just like, oh, fuck you. You look fucking weird. I'm going to bust your ass or whatever. But I'm just not going to ignore shit no more, dude. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, that's the problem with today's society. People are just ignoring shit, and who knows what the fuck is happening. I mean, if there's something that you can literally hear or see, and you're there, and there's something that you can do, I think you people need to fucking just step up to the plate and fucking be like, hey, don't
Well, there used to be
don't
a
do
good
this.
Samaritan.
This is my community. Don't be fucking around here. And you're gonna have enough witnesses and innocent people to back you up and say, hey, this guy's right. Don't
Yeah.
I like to believe in the goodness of people, so much so that some we got to start stepping up, man, because no one's gonna do it for us. We already know our law enforcement's backing down. Our fucking politicians, they're not shit.
Well, let me
Somebody's got to do something, man.
let me stand up for the police, okay? Because a big mistake that the conservative right is making is that they're going against the local police. And they're like, no, I'm no longer back in the blue. F the police. This, and they're buying into the left wing narrative. And that's, let me tell you something, okay? I have a good friend of mine. He's a police officer for Phoenix. And the liberal Democrats that run Phoenix, Kate Gallego, and he's, I think it's Carlos Garcia or someone, what they're doing is they are doing everything they can to put police in bad situations. And this happens all over big cities. And I guarantee you it's happening in your city too. And what they do is they get these, they call them civilian review boards and stuff like that. And basically, they're made up of anti cop, pro illegal migration nut jobs. And so when the police go out and they patrol the streets like they were hired to do, now if they go out and patrol and they arrest, say, let's say they arrest 5 Mexican dudes, 4 black guys, and 1 white guy. Now they're hauled in and they're reviewed for being a racist, even though they were just out patrolling and that happens to be the crime they came across. So these police won't even patrol anymore, because if they do, they'll be hauled in front of this civilian review board that's designed by left-wing radicals specifically to accuse cops of racism, because they want to prove to the world that cops are racist. So because now the cops, because of politics, they can't go out and they can't patrol the streets. Now, all of a sudden, the country's turning on the cops, and it's not the cops' fault. It's a bunch of political bullshit. So they'll only answer calls that or come over dispatch because they have to, right? They have to, but they can't now be accused of going to that situation because they were dispatched to go there. This is happening in every big city across the country. And I'll tell you what, if we keep bashing the cops and if we keep allowing cops to get fired and go before these civilian review boards, you're going to have Biden's national police force coming in to fill that void. And if you think shit's bad now, wait till there's a bunch of freaking stormtroopers coming into your freaking your neighborhood that they don't give a shit about your civil rights.
I understand what you're saying, John, but I think maybe I may have made my point wrong, because in no way am I bashing on the cops. Well, all I'm saying is, if the cops aren't there, because they're not always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
they
saying,
can't be. They can't be anymore.
Who's going to be there to step in place of that, though?
It's
what I mean?
Yeah,
we damn sure don't want no damn world police. I know exactly what you're saying, John, and I agree with you 100%. I do support local law enforcement to the fullest, but I'm just saying, if they're not there and that, you know what I mean, they can't be there, somebody's got to be there, man. I mean, somebody's got to. You can't just let these criminals fucking walk around and do whatever they want and say, "Oh, the cops aren't there, so I'm gonna do whatever the fuck they want." No,
but
there's
that's
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
somebody there to step in and be like, you know what, fuck you, criminals.
But here's what I'm telling you.
You know what? You can't do this. Not in my community.
But this is what I'm telling you. The more vigilante comes in, it's just going to feed the freaking left's narrative. And they're going to say, okay, now we've got these vigilantes. We've got to somehow find a way to control these vigilantes. They are doing this on purpose. This is by design. They want a federal police force. They want federal police. And if what we have to do, instead of getting involved in the crime ourselves, we got to start electing pro-police politicians into our cities so that they can start putting more cops on the street, local cops, so that the cops can come, so that cops can respond, so that the cops aren't afraid to patrol the cities. But we've got to
Yeah,
get
and
these left-wing
okay,
freaking fascists out of this,
I
out of our cities.
I
That's what we have to
totally
do.
I exactly see that, man. I see your point, man, and I understand, man. The thing is though, is people just need to stop giving a fuck about politics. Fuck
Well,
the left. Fuck, fuck all that. I don't give a fuck, If if they came and interviewed me for shooting somebody because they were fucking putting someone else's life in danger, I would say it has nothing to do with any kind of politics. I did it because I don't want this shit in my community. This shit doesn't need to be around my neighbors or anybody else. I took the law in my own hands. Fuck that. This whole that left narrative thing is garbage. It is. And so is just politics in general is garbage, dude. I'm done with that. I'm so done with it. Dude, it needs to come to the point to where it is, man. We need to get work it something needs to happen. Even if it's going to be Wild West all over again, something needs to happen. I mean, I'm not relying on politics to bring law and order. I'm saying the people need to do it. We need to fucking
yeah,
step
the
up to the
people,
plate and do it ourselves.
and then
Nobody.
you're gonna end up in jail. You're gonna end up in prison, and the feds are gonna come in and they're gonna take over the cities. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
Kyle
that's a
Rittenhouse.
recipe. It's a recipe for disaster, brother. You can think that's going to happen. One, no one's going to have your back. Everybody's going to have your back until you pull that fucking trigger, and then
Everybody's scared.
everybody's gonna run like cockroaches when you turn the light on. That's what's going to happen. You've got to get, as much as you hate politics, you've got to get involved in your local city politics, and you've got to get these left-wing mayors the hell out of there, and you've got to start putting America first
Well,
politicians in your local elections.
that's where I'm lost, man. These elections. This is where I'm losing my faith in politics because I don't know anybody who voted for our fucking mayor who's in power now. The crime here has been escalating over the last 4 years. We have the same mayor again. The Bernalillo County Sheriff ran for mayor, and everybody I knew was voting for him, but he lost by a landslide. And this is where I'm just losing my faith, man. It was not just the Trump thing, but the local things now, and to me, everything just seems like it's fixed, and I'm fucking done with it, dude.
No, but that's
So
where
fucking done
you
with
and
it.
we got to go door to door. If we want to put our money where our mouth is, then you and we need to go door to door in our communities, and we got to start talking to people, because sitting around and hoping things go your way, it ain't going to change anything. You've got to go door to door and knock on people and get involved yourself, and start going out. And even if you give $5 or $10 to your favorite candidate, whatever you can spare, but don't give them to these federal politicians. The hell with them. Get involved locally. That's
Well, I
where the
mean, you know
change is
what?
going to
I
happen.
give your try. I'll give your way a try, man, for sure. Because
Otherwise, you're going to
I
end up in
like to
prison.
believe in our voting system. I like to believe in in democracy. Plain and simple. I mean, that's just voting is our God given right. It's our American right. And I
Mhm.
understand, and I'm willing to give that a try. But at the same time, man, if something just like the stuff that's been happening lately, man, if I'm caught out on a God forbid night where something is crazy is happening, dude, I'm willing. I'm at that point, man. I'm not gonna just like ignore it and let it go and say, "Oh my God, I hope I hope everything turns out okay. Fuck no. I'm going to reach for my glove box. I'm going to grab my shit and I'm going to see, like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know, man.
Well, only because I like you, Chicos. We're going to start a GoFundMe right now for your bail money.
I want
You know what? I'm going to be wearing this hat in my mug shot. Just so you know, it's me.
You know what's gonna be funny, dude? Is you're gonna see a guy dressed in all black with the bat on his.
Unknown caller.
Oh, looks like somebody's calling in. You're
To
on.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
You're on with the conservative Chicanos.
Hi, it's Latin.
Hey, Latin Patriot.
I thought you were sick.
I am. I'm not coughing, thank goodness.
I was
So
gonna say, you must be sick. You're from California. Just kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you,
our
Lat Pat. I'm
state
just
is
kidding.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't want to hand over California. I'm not going to give it to them on a platter.
Right. Got to fight for it.
They can pry it from my cold, dead hands.
You got to fight for it, right? You can't give up. You can't take the law into your own hands. You got to fight for it.
How
I'm
do
not
you
gonna
fight
just give
for
them
it?
So did you guys ever find out who won the recall election in California?
Gavin Newsom.
Okay, what I was told was that they did a Jedi mind trick on us. They said that Elder won all the counties, but he didn't have enough votes, right? Isn't that what they said?
I don't know. I mean, the way the recall works is that
How-
there had to be over 51% to oust Gavin Newsom first, and then whoever got the majority of the votes would be placed in, and Gavin Newsom would not be eligible for the second part of that recall. So what they're trying to say is that less than 51% voted to recall him in the first place.
So that's that Jedi mind trick. So if Elder won every county, how can he not have enough votes?
He didn't have 51% of the state wanting to oust
Hey,
Newsom.
Latin Patriot, can I ask you a question?
What do you want to ask me?
How many people do you know personally that voted for Gavin Newsom?
Question.
I know quite a few that are mentally under, like, they have like mental disability, so their social workers fill out their papers for them. And I know one that she's raised conservative, but because she's under like the help of like these social workers, when she actually voted for the president, they scared her into believing their lies. Like they said, "Oh, Trump's going to take away your welfare and your Section 8 and your food stamp," and because she's so not there in her head, she got so scared that she went ahead and voted for what the social worker told her to. And she was actually her father's a Vietnam vet and her mom's from Vietnam, and
Damn.
So
people like that being taken advantage of.
So let me kind of go back to the recall, Latin. So you were saying that Larry Elder won, or are you saying Larry Elder won the majority of every county?
From what I understood, I thought they said that Elder won all of the counties, but that he didn't have enough votes.
Well, so because here's how it works. Okay, so there's two parts of the ballot, right? The first vote is either yes to recall or no to recall. And on the second part, Gavin Newsom is not on the second part because he can't be chosen. He's not eligible. If he's recalled, he's not eligible to be on the second part. So that's very possible that Larry Elder could have won the second part of that. But if 51% of the people or more did not select yes, he needs to be recalled, then the second part doesn't matter.
Okay, so what it turned out like this. The first question was, shall Gavin Newsom be removed from the office of governor? 61 or 62% of the people said he should stay in office.
There you go.
38% said that he should be removed. So they never even got to the 48% who said Larry Elder should be president.
Should I play politics
Governor.
right now? Should
Should
I
be
play
governor.
politics? I think California just doesn't like black people. That's why Larry Elder lost. Am I right?
No,
He didn't
it's-
lose. He won. He actually destroyed Kevin Paraf, but the fact is that Gavin Newsom
wasn't recalled.
wasn't recalled.
So it doesn't matter. And unfortunately, in California,
Yeah.
you've got Los Angeles, which is probably 90% left. You've got San Francisco, which is 90% left.
99, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Sacramento, which is probably 60% left. You got San Diego, which is probably 65% left. There's no chance in hell. Now, Larry Elder, he's a popular guy. He's a popular guy with the people that hate Newsom. But unfortunately, there's not enough people to hate Newsom to get him recalled.
Because they all moved to Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico.
Yeah, and Vegas and Idaho, Boise, everywhere.
Yeah, they all scattered. They all went somewhere else, man. God
Yeah.
dang.
So
know
I
what,
get your
Lat-
Well,
point.
considering Elder's an actual lawyer, I don't see him doing enough to like help us get us out of this mess. So it makes me wonder if he was just pacifying us.
Well, he was a radio host. He's a radio talk show host.
Oh, you're talking about Larry Elder? Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Elder's a radio talk show host. So
Yeah.
he might be an
Totally.
attorney, but I don't know if he's a practicing attorney. He's making his money on radio.
Like Steve Harvey.
Latin Patriot. You know what? You need to leave California. You need to get out that motherfucking cesspool.
Oh my god! But my house, I bought it super cheap. I don't want to just give it to them. Like if we actually like leave California, we're gonna give it to them. They're gonna just like.
What do you have?
Well, like-
I mean, you have your home. That's awesome. But what else is out there? I mean, you got your family or what? You got family, friends, and all that good stuff? Or what's keeping you in California, if you don't
All
mind
of
me
my
asking?
Yeah, the two fathers of my kids and my extended family.
That's a good
Yeah.
reason to stay.
Well, yeah, can't argue with that, you know.
No,
I'm not-
yeah. I wouldn't say leave California. I say go door to door and start a cause and try to get people to wake the hell up over there. I don't know if it's possible. I mean, there's a lot of people that actually believe that Trump won. Scoop Dog made a good point. Scoop Dog made a good point about when the ballots were actually sent in. There, you could actually see whether the yes or no was in the envelope, whether the yes or no was selected. And so that's a problem, right? Because if you got a leftist mail carrier like Bear used to be, then you could if it was yes, then you could toss that ballot right in the trash and never see it again. And so that's a problem. I'm not saying that there's not voter issues, because there definitely is. We know it took place in Maricopa County. We know it took place in Pinal County and Pima County and all through Arizona. But going out vigilante style and shooting people up is not going to be, not in my opinion, is going to be the solution. We got to figure it out. We've got to figure it out.
I think Latin Patriot needs Cowboy Chicos to take a trip out there and just stand outside those voting polls and look real fucking intimidating. And like, hey, are you trying to throw out that ballot? Let me see what's in your hand, man. What the fuck? No. I'm just kidding.
I
Like that.
Chico gets this much and he takes it that much. He's gonna defend you, Lap Pat.
You know, I really wish that Californians paid attention to what's going on, because Gavin Newsom passed a whole bunch of bills, and so he basically killed our Constitution, if I'm not mistaken. And if I had a laptop, if I could find my laptop or figure out what type of laptop I should buy, like I could probably, buy myself a cheap little laptop and figure out how to use it. But like, I think, somebody like you guys should start reporting on the blue state and talk about what has Gavin Newsom done since he was recalled. I think he retaliated against us because since he killed the Constitution of our state, he's kind of like declared himself supreme being over everybody, like to where it said that he to like say if I was a threat, like say if I had some sort of illness and I was going around like yelling inside Costco that I'm sick with this, he could say, lock her up and put her in quarantine and like let's study her.
Well,
the problem with Gavin Newsom is that Nancy Pelosi is his aunt, and the Pelosi's run that state. They are the king and queen. Whatever, I forget what Pelosi's husband's name is. Paul, I think Paul Pelosi.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nancy, they are. Yeah, they're the freaking king and queen of California, and little Gavin Newsom, he's like the son in Game of Thrones, right? That ends up taking over the freaking throne,
He's
and he just starts, Joffrey, and he just starts killing everybody and raping people.
Hero.
And that's Newsom. That's Game of Thrones is man, I'll tell you what, you want to learn about politics and how politics work. Game of Thrones is like the show to watch. But Newsom's dangerous. I'm telling you, Nancy Pelosi, her time is kind of coming up, and he is the heir to that throne, and he's nuttier than she is.
He seems like his cheese is off his cracker.
Yeah, he's an anti-capitalist. He's definitely a pro CCP freaking fascist, and he'll welcome the Chinese way of doing capitalism in California. Because he'll be one of the ones.
Nancy is a fake Catholic too. I can't believe she's not even ashamed of her disgustingness.
It's insane though. I was watching a documentary today about Harvey Milk, and man, that state has changed a lot. Because I mean, remember when California under Reagan was conservative, and somehow it was in like the 80s. They really went left. Like they swung so far left.
Yeah, California was Hollywood. Everything changed in California. I think it was back when was it McCarthy, when he was holding those hearings about the communists in Hollywood and all that type of stuff. He's the one that exposed that. He's the one that really, I don't know. He just, and they wanted to fight it, and they were exposed, and they were going to do everything they could to get back at McCarthy and the Republicans for what they exposed in California. So, and that's what Reagan was a Democrat. Reagan was a Democrat for the majority of his life until he realized that the Democratic Party was actually a socialist party. And that's why he walked away from the Democrats. He was head of the Actors Guild, the union. He was a big union guy, big Democrat, and he believed in the Democrats stood for the blue collar workers, but he woke up and realized that they were
socialists are the communists.
Yeah, he realized that. Yep. Yeah, he realized that and realized that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to put my kids in school. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say California has been a socialist. It's been brewing for a long time, and people just haven't realized it. And now because let's face it, you guys are you're financed through travel, but it's really Hollywood that drives the economy all through, you know, and of course the ports. So you got the ports like San Francisco and all that type of stuff, but it's these left wing.
Yeah, the Bay, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all driven by left wing politics.
The Bay.
California has some of the most. They got more vegetation that ships throughout the country than any other state, too. I mean, at one point they were like the vegetation and fruit capital of the entire country.
California's economy is the
It's
fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, you know, but Hollywood was built on Satanism.
Yeah.
I mean, before Ronald Reagan. I mean, look at Julie Garland. Look at fucking what was that little girl's name who was in all those movies and stuff? But she was highly sexualized. It's fucking disgusting.
You talk about Shirley Temple?
Yeah, there you go. Shirley Temple, that's who I'm thinking of, man. Yeah, Hollywood has been a disgusting fucking Satanist agenda since the beginning. The whole reason why they were making a movie was to brainwash the public and get people in their disgusting ways and not even realize it. I mean, Disney was built on fucking Satanism. It's fucking disgusting. California has been damned since the beginning of Hollywood.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. You hear about stories in the Bible of like, and even in the old world of sacrifices and stuff, and that's like a family tradition that I believe that they've passed on, from generation to generation.
Yeah. Harvey Weinstein, look at the shit that he did. Jeffrey Epstein, all these sick bastards, they all come out of California.
They're all Steens. And Whoops. You know what? And don't call me like some kind of Zionist or what do they call those?
Anti-Semitics.
There you go. But they are not the original Jewish people. They're fucking satanic, disgusting Satan devil worshippers. You know what I mean? They have nothing to do with the origins of Jesus or Bethlehem. These are fucking Europeans that have fucking taken the name and turned it into something disgusting. I don't know. I really don't know. All I'm saying is from what I see. I calls it how I sees it, man. And all this Hollywood propaganda, it's always been a disgusting fucking Satanist organization. I don't want to have no part of it no more. I'm just fucking done with it. I'm done with all that. It's fucking gross, and they can keep all their fucking blood sacrifices and all their weird fucking what do they call those?
Practices.
Yeah, they're occultic fucking garbage where they like have these cakes that they make to look like human bodies and sacrifice. I don't know. I forget what they call it, but you know what I'm talking about. And all that weird shit, man.
Well, I would have known before, but I have a friend who used to work at Disneyland here in California, and he said that they have like private places for just the elite to go to, and that who knows what happens there, but he's heard some really shady stuff happen in those places that are for only the special people,
Yeah, and you know what?
I was going to tell you that I wanted to
the 23
real quick
Club.
Before I let you guys go. Can you say that, please?
It was the 23
Is
Club.
it my turn?
It's the 23 Club in Disneyland.
And you know what's sad about that is you got motherfuckers like, because don't get me wrong, man. I was on the Trump train because the economy was going good. He was doing a lot of good things for the country, but I just think it was a big fucking dog and pony show, and I don't trust. I don't trust fucking Trump. I don't trust none of these motherfuckers at all. Anybody that has anything to do with Hollywood, any kind of politician, any kind of celebrity, any kind of sick motherfucker from Washington, D.C. I mean, you look at their roadmaps and they're drawn out in pentagrams and fucking weird shit. Fuck all that. That's not me. That's not America to me. I mean, that's just fucking dirty ass Satan shit. And I don't want none of that. I don't want no part of that. No part. And I don't care what they say on TV about wearing masks or COVID or anything they gotta fucking say. I'm like I said earlier, I'm just done with politics. Completely. It's fucking stupid.
Well, hey, listen, on that note, guys, I got to get to bed. It's almost midnight, so I got to take a snooze because I got to work in the morning. I got to be in Maricopa.
Let me tell you really quick.
Me too.
Before you leave, I want you to hear.
Go ahead.
I looked into getting my kids into the online schools, outside, and they've all been filled up, and there are waiting lists for homeschool and stuff. So when I went to the last the school board meeting, they were saying that if they don't put their numbers up in student enrollment, that they're going to lose a couple $1 million, like $25 million, or I forget what the number was. It's online, and so they're scared of that. So I wonder, so like the local school board, they're on board. They're okay with letting us have our own right to choose. But they said that we need to tell our government officials, our representatives, it's not them doing it. They are getting the pressure from our state, local representatives.
Dang.
So that's a good thing.
Well, hopefully that works out for you guys out there in
All right.
California, because school choice is definitely something that's important to the communities.
Oh, it's changed Arizona. Arizona is great with school
Thanks,
choice.
Jack. Bye.
Thanks for calling in.
If you don't perform as a school, kids can go anywhere they want to. And we're seeing a massive depletion of students up in Scottsdale because they're pushing all this trans rights BS. And they're actually having private conversations with kids as young as 12 about being transsexual and all this bullshit. And they're trying to hide it from the parents. And parents are waking up to this crap, and they're pulling their kids out of Scottsdale schools. And if there's no kids going there, the state's not going to continue to fund them. They get funded per student. And if they're, the state starts pulling funding on them, then the teachers they'll just shut the whole damn thing down, which is good, and rebuild it. And that's what we need to do. And that's what competition does. That's what school choice does. And any state that doesn't have school choice is a big mistake.
I agree.
The Democrats will fight against it tooth and nail. They'll do everything they can to stop it because they want total control of your kid. They want to parent your kid from the minute they come out of the womb, and they want to parent your kid all the way to the tomb, from womb to tomb. It's just a fact. And these lefts are sick freaking people.
You heard about it too in California. They're doing that shit where the kids could get vaccinated without their parents' consent.
Yeah, they're pushing for the
age
of 12, dude.
Yeah,
age of 12, a 12-year-old.
They're kids, man. Yeah, and they're just disgusting. They're disgusting fucking pigs. Fucking tired of that shit, man.
All right, guys. Well,
all right, guys. With that, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Bear, thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. Thanks again for coming on and choosing to watch the Conservative Chicanos. I am the Conservative Bear. My co-host, as always, is Chico's Mother Effing Tacos. Anything to say before we sign off there, Chico's?
I was going to say, howdy, y'all. Have a good night.
I hope you all have a good day. God bless. And as always, deuces.
Peace out.
H-Town.